show was made possible with the continued support of the Pelican Partners, where you can make money on your gambling traffic.
Hello, 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 my iGaming people, and thank you so much for supporting the APCW and streaming another edition of Perspectives. This is our second to last show of the year, and I thought, what better time to really look at some odd news stories? I mean, as we rush toward the Christmas break, what better time than look at these bizarre events making news, beginning in the Netherlands, where, if you will allow a brief history lesson, over the past year or so, the Dutch Gaming Authority has taken action against offshore websites, issued fines to online operators, banned the use of role models in advertisements, implemented self-exclusion services, forbidden the use of promotional games, investigated and taken action against online affiliates, and outlawed gambling adverts on television, radio, billboards, and practically the whole of the internet. And now, a new report from the government there claims that the regulator is, and I quote, too limited. What the serious hell? Too limited? Well, to be fair, the report specifically said that they were too limited to deal with illegal online gambling. Really? Claiming that the nation as a whole needed to implement payment and website blocking or start working with ISPs to shut down these sorts of sites. In other words, the Dutch Gaming Authority has not been aggressive enough. And the report says that they would like to see the regulator increase its monitoring and supervision in order to identify and prioritize risks. So in other words, when it comes to the Dutch Gaming Authority, the best is yet to come. Now, if you're an affiliate and you work in this market, I would be paying attention to this, especially what comes next, because it appears that the road may get a little bumpy from here. We got through the whole first half of the show without incident, but now that I started filming the second half, my neighbor's rooster has decided this is the time to start crowing. Good for you, son. In the first half of our show, we had a bit of a history lesson with the Dutch Gaming Authority. Now we can do the same thing for our friend Andy Rhodes over at the UK Gambling Commission. If you remember, he was the interim chief until May of this year, and when he took over full-time, he immediately tried to assert himself as the heavy, warning operators to rethink affordability, promising to ramp up enforcement actions. In the months that came after that, the UKGC changed their licensing process, implemented state caps, and banned free bets. Over the summer, they promised to increase compliance inspections and the resulting fines. Published new gambling regulations for higher risk players, even warned their licensees about marketing to customers who spend significant amounts of discretionary income on gambling. And all of that makes Mr. Rhodes' latest statement a little difficult to wrap your head around, as he now claims that it's not the commission's job to make a moral judgment on what a player spends on gambling. What the serious freaking hell? Did I pass through some wormhole last week and enter an alternate dimension? Rhodes went on to say that the UKGC should concern itself with making sure operators steer their players away from high-risk behaviors, not focus on how much those players are spending. This comes after the UKGC limited deposits, banned credit cards, capped stake limits on games, even controlled the speed of play on those games. I'm at a loss. That's me. You were here to witness when J. Todd was at a loss for words. The only logical explanation I can come up with, I mean, besides the whole alternate dimension thing, besides that, I think maybe there's a small chance he's been watching this show and seen the light and come to his senses, but a more plausible explanation is that he was abducted by aliens, replaced with his clone, and is carrying out their agenda. Personally, I lean toward the alien thing. Maybe I've been watching too much History Channel, I don't know. All I do know is that I have one more of these shows to make, and then my happy ass is off for the rest of the year. So, you know, God willing, I'll be back next week. And we have some really odd news stories to cover this week. Very, very bizarre. I totally lost myself. Doo-doo.